Hi everybody, welcome back to part 2 on the custom Lowrider E-Bike trailer. I left you off in part 1, we'd cut all the aluminium panel to fit the trailer. This is all placed and just tacked in with a bit of masking tape to hold it in place. But this is all cut and ready for the next stage. Now, the next stage on this aluminium is to sand all these edges and just give them a little radius all the way around, smoothing all these out. And with this being composite board, you get aluminium, then you get plastic inside, and then you get aluminium that side, and it's compressed together. We're going to go around with a plastic MIPA primer, and we'll plastic prime all the edges of this aluminium so it seals that plastic edge down. And then we're going to spray stone chip protector and bed liner on these inner panels so it's all protected on the inside. So that's in today's video. And the timber bed that we'd cut, that's all going to be prepped, sanded down to 320, and then we're going to outdoor wood stain it in oak and medium oak, and then this will be, all the faces of this will be clear coated. We've got the screws to screw through the bed, through, pre-drill this, and then we can screw the timbers down. These will be a silicone bead seal as well, so they'll be silicone bead sealed down as well as screwed, so they'll be compressed so no water can get through to that timber. We've got the screws for all the aluminium to self-tap into the steel frame. We're going to spray all these black to match the board. So there's a lot to do. I'll stick you in some time lapses. I'll get this frame all took apart again, and then we can start on these aluminium panels. So I will see you in the next step. Right, we've got the prep stage done on these panels. I've gone over the edges with the block, as you see in that time lapse with the 180. Just knocked any rough bits off, so these are all nice and smooth now around the edges. And I've gone in with the electric DA with the 320 disc on, and I've just buzzed over the surfaces, as you can see. Over the surfaces both sides, just to keep the surfaces up, because we're going to be doing artwork on one side and like paint effects and things like that, and then the inside we're going to be spraying some stone chip and some bed liner, so that's just keep the surface up. So the next stage to do on these is give these a clean down with wax and grease remover, good wipe over both sides, and then we're going to go with some MIPA plastic primer aerosol and just buzz round these edges that have got the plastic piece, that little dark piece there, that's all plastic. So I just want to go in with the plastic primer on that. I don't want to just paint over it because that will probably just chip off eventually. So if we're going with the correct primers, that will adhere to that plastic edge, and we've got a nice, it's got a nice to bond to. So that's the next stage. I'll stick you in another time lapse. We'll get all these cleaned down, plastic primered up, move these out of the way, and then we can crack on with the timber. So I'll see you in a bit. Right, we've done the plastic primer stage. I took you through that one, and you've seen me in the time lapse. I've dropped some of the stone chip protector down. This dries down to like a matte finish. A good coat on there, and that's just for the inside panels on the trailer. Give it a little bit of protection. So that's the first good coat on there. I'll let this dry off and then we'll hit it with another coat. So I have 2 good coats on there and that will protect the inside of the trailer. So let that dry. We're going to be moving on to the timber next. Now all this timber needs to be sanded and all the corners rounded off, and then we can get staining that in this exterior wood stain. Gone for a medium oak on this. We'll coat all the sides, let that cure down, and then I'm going to hit this with 2K clear coat on the top so it gives it a nice shiny finish. So the next stage will be another coat on these and then we can move on to this timber. So I'll see you in a bit. Right guys, I put the second coat on. I went in with truck and bed liner. It's like what you see on the back of pickups trucks. It's that textured, tough paint. So we've gone over with a coat of the bed liner all over these. So that's all the internals done on the trailer, and then I've gone in with the stone chip protect over all the screws that are going to be screwing this to the frame. First coat on them, and then I'll go in with some clear gloss on them screws, and that'll just gloss them up for when we put them around the frame. So that's that stage done. This stuff takes over a day to go off. This stuff does, it really does, takes a long time to cure, but once it's cured down you could sand wood on it. It's that tougher coat. I've used this on underneaths of motorbikes, Lambrettas, and this stuff's really good guys, this bed liner. So that's the coat on that. I'm going to take these outside the studio because it's sunny. I'm going to leave these in the sun just drying off, and then we can crack on with the timber. We'll get all this timber sanded up and prepped, and then we can get staining and doing that. So I'll see you in the next step. We've got the sanding stage complete on the timber. I'll pan around and give you a little talk on how I did it and what discs I used. So I started off with a block with an 80 disc and just hit the edges and just knocked the edges off all the way around, just chamfered them down. Then went in with the DA with a 180 disc and buzzed over the top, and then finished it with a 320 disc over the top of that, so that's all nice and smooth now on these. We're going to move on to the staining stage. We've got the wood stain in here. Going to use a roller. Going to go around, give a coat over the face and the edges, leave that to dry, then we'll flip it over, do a coat on the underneath, flip it back over, another coat on the face. So you just keep turning it over and then coating it up, letting it dry. So I'll stick it on the tripod and we'll get this wood stain done. Right guys, we're going to wrap this one up for today. We've got the timber all stained, all the edges are done. This is a first coat, so I've got to let this go off. I won't bore you with going for another coat, but I'm going to give this another coat of the wood stain, so probably go a little bit darker, not much more. And now I'm going to leave that to dry. I've got the side panels outside drying, they're going to take a day, and then we can get this into clear coat. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Just want to say a big warm welcome to all the new subscribers and all the regulars. Thanks for all the comments guys, it's much appreciated. And I'll wrap this one up today. So I'll see you in part 3 when we start moving on to the paint side of things on the side panels, getting the artwork across, and I'll start taking you through the airbrush pieces. So hope you enjoyed the video, hope you join me in the next one. Thanks for watching guys, see you soon.